Cookup. Hey, you, right there. Y'all see it. Watch this video to the end, boy.
It's now podcast.
Let's go, Lord.
Okay, so as you guys know, Coach has his other health issues, his vascular stuff. So every year, Coach goes for a CT scan of his vascular pattern to make sure the blood clots are away. So with this scan, everything turned out really great from the vascular side. About 2 weeks later, we get a text from his primary care doctor that said, I need to talk to you and Coach. We need to refer you guys to a urologist. So about 3 days later, we go see a urologist. They go in for a quick procedure. The urologist told us, hey, within 10 minutes, I can tell you guys if he's going to need another procedure or if we just need to do these follow-up appointments. And the doctor told us, okay, you guys are going to need another procedure. I'm going to refer you to my colleague, Dr. Cookup. But at this point, you have a bladder tumor. From there, we'll go get it removed, and then... So we proceeded with removal of the bladder tumor. It showed a very aggressive...
Those are backwards because you guys gave me options that scared me to death.
Oh, well, what do we do? We'll get there. I'll get there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We removed the tumor, and it's very high grade and dating to the bladder wall, not into the muscle layer. So we'll call very high risk and muscle invasive bladder cancer. So we did discuss options. We discussed some options of treatment in the bladder, and we discussed bladder removal as well. Given his commitments to his family and to the team, elected to undergo bladder removal. We performed a full robot-assisted laparoscopic bladder removal and creation of a new bladder. And I am pleased to report that the results from the surgery are that he is cured from the cancer.
God is good. God is good. Now, I had to sit back and just watch this. I wasn't really expecting that because I've been kind of on and off on a lot of the latest, greatest news because everybody has been passing away and dropping dead like flies, you know what I'm saying? For once out of, this past month or so, or maybe even longer, we can at least get some good news, especially in this case, Deion Sanders, I could just say God got his hand on him for sure. Just with that C word, I can't even say it, but that C word, when I think about it, a lot of things come to mind, and like in my family, I lost a lot of close family members to that same awful, I can't even say it. We just gonna say the C word. I noticed in this interview, and I was looking at multiple interviews I was watching, shout out to Willie D, because that's what really brought it to my attention. Now I've seen, as a lot of you probably seen, we've seen various clips of a procedure. Now, unbeknownst to me, I was just watching, just strolling through Instagram. I'm just thinking he's having a simple surgery on his bladder, And then later on tonight, not too long ago from here, I see that he was dealing with the C word. But not only that, he was dealing with it for some time when you were dealing with it in a private manner to the point where he even kept it away from his sons, just so they can focus on, obviously, the draft. Now, the draft has been gone for a couple months now, maybe about 1 or 2 months or so. Imagine that. And I thought to myself, and I oftentimes have this conversation with my family sometime about withholding certain things like that. And I was even talking to my mom about if something was wrong or if something was to happen, would you keep your children in the dark about it, or would you be transparent about it and just come out and say it? Now, we all know that these type of conversations are not easy to have. Man, despite the circumstances and despite what people go through, it just always feels good to just finally be on the winning side of things sometimes, because that awful C word took a lot of people out, you know what I mean? And for those of you that's out there that understand what that C word does to families, what that C word does to a person's health, just watching your loved one or somebody close to you having to suffer, regardless of what type, It's all the C word. I didn't really want to jump on this subject. We was actually going to talk about something else, but this right here, we just had to talk about it. And I'm not going to be too long, but out of that passage right there, I was just going to sit back and just watch the rest of this press conference. And I've seen like bits and pieces, so I got the gist of what's going on right now. And I won't get it as far as in the detail about what Coach has to go through. And he's been like very open and transparent about his situation. Now, not everything is out the bag. He did what's best for his family, I'm assuming he did what's best for his sons, and just not, you don't want your family to worry about you. And that's like one of those awkward things, when you have to answer to your mortality, or if you dealt with an obstacle like this or anything, how would you tell your children, let alone your parents if you still got your parents? But as a parent, you don't want your kids to worry, because we're built to be the protectors, the providers, the everything, because we want to protect our children at all costs. And as a parent, you never want to bury a child. You would much rather your child bury you, but at the same time, you want to be around for a very long time. You want to see your grandkids. You want to live life. You want to see a lot of things. You want to be around for a long time for your family. Every time you hear that word, it just triggers something in me, and it makes you think about all the loved ones, friends that we lost the battle to that awful C word. It's easy to say what you're gonna do until you're in that position. It's easy to say how you would respond or react to something you're going through, as far as health-wise or just mentally or anything like that. And we try not to imagine these things, or what would you do? Like I said, it's easy to say. And I, for one, I wouldn't want to be in that predicament. No way. And I'm pretty sure he would say the same thing. I mean, he's been dealing with a lot of different health issues. And that one little turntable, that one little small thing that you just didn't disclose, that'd have been so devastating if it would have went the opposite direction, but it didn't. I always been big on preservation, self-preservation. Always been big on self-preservation. And not only that, but just preserving the ones around you, preserving the ones you love, preserving the ones of value, especially like our elders, or like, just people full of, your elders, people full of wisdom, people that got insight, people that stand up individuals that either beat the odds, whatever the case, And I was just like, this right here was just like, came out of nowhere. Like right now, I think it's currently about close to midnight, or just hitting midnight. We on West Coast time. I mean, this type of stuff just leave you speechless of time. But like Coach said, God is so good. Now, I'm watching this in real time. I want y'all to know that this is my first time actually watching this. So I'm gonna kind of try to speed this whole thing up, because I literally just been sitting here like speechless. So I want y'all to see my natural reaction to it. I don't want to get to posting, a side video or anything like that for my reaction. I'd rather not do that, because this is not one of those type of things. But I definitely wanted to just react. To the video, and this wasn't even my intent to do so, but I just really felt compelled to hear Coach speak on this matter. And another fine point he was talking about is like us, especially in our community, us brothers, how, we don't like to go to the doctor. We definitely don't. There wasn't no lies told there. We don't like to go to the doctor. We should be more mindful of that, and we should be getting ourselves checked out. It's very important. Sometimes you got to do the uncomfortable things, especially right now. Like, I'm on my weight loss journey again, trying to drop weight fluctuating up and down. Recently, I just got a checkup in a while. It's been a minute prior to that. I recently got my checkup, so it's been like so different, like finding the right doctor and all these different things, just going through those type of things, especially moving to another state. Had a few things to work on, but for the most, had a clean bill of health. And I continue to be mindful of that, starting to eat better, work out more. And in these day and age, you have a tendency of thinking about certain things. Like I have a grandchild, and you get to thinking about family these days. I mean, I've been more thinking about family more so now more than ever because not just just getting older, but just wanting to be there for your kids, wanting to be there for your family in general. You want to stick around a little while. I want to see my kids grow and things of that sort, and that could never be generic, as cliche as that may sound. But we just want to be better. As many eye openers as we have had over the years, and I'm not just talking about myself. When I say we, I mean just we as a community. We don't talk about these things much. A lot of times, I get on this platform and I like to stick to the script, and we talk about various different things pertaining to a certain manner. Like, we talk about music, movies, and sports and things like that. And every now and then, I talk about some real things, but this right here just touches the home. So I want to say, number one, continue to love on your people, love who loves you. Hopefully you got God in your life, and hopefully you make peace with God as well. You know what I'm saying? Just keep God first. When I say keep God first, that's exactly what I mean. It's not just a slogan, it's a way of life. Normally for all my OGs out there and for everybody that watches this channel or anything or anywhere, if you see me out, it's a way of life. I mean, I really mean keep God first in everything that you do. It's not just a saying, it's a way of life, it's a lifestyle. Not trying to get too preachy or nothing, but a lot of people like to call God when something bad happens, as opposed to just giving him thanks every day just for just waking you up, just for giving you another 24 hours to do what you need to do, another 24 hours to be better, another 24 hours to get it right. Life we just can't take for granted. I definitely tip my hat to Coach for even just being transparent and opening up a lot of the stuff he was talking about just now. And as far as his personal health, he didn't have to say nothing like that. He didn't have to go out and tell his person. A lot of stuff he just said, like, ain't no man finna go to a press conference and say, hey man, I can't control my bladder. I gotta wear Depends. He's really just laying it out on the line and just being so transparent and so straightforward. And I gotta tip my hat to him, because a lot of brothers wouldn't just get up there voluntarily and just say that and just address it head on. So I salute that. That's so hunted, because a lot of people will be embarrassed. Not even just be embarrassed. I mean, no shame about it. Life is life. It's a part of life. If you have to go through these things, it's nothing to be ashamed about. But at the same time, the internet is a strange place, and it's a very cruel world out here. And there's a lot of people that will say some outlandish things that just don't make no sense. And to have this press conference and say it the way he needed to say it, I can't do nothing but salute that. That just motivates me and inspires me to continue to fight and continue on this journey to try to just be better in all facets of life, and taking care of health and understanding the important things in life. I've been on this type of bag for a minute. I was just talking to my daughters and my wife, and we was just sitting around the kitchen, just having a conversation. And I was explaining, we had just got some good news. And just putting life in perspective as far as like just being focused on family more and just being more family oriented, meaning my own family. You get to a certain point in life when you start to grow and your family start to grow and expand. You're going into these different chapters in life, and then you look up and it's like, okay, your priorities change, your outlook on life changes, your perspective changes. I got a whole new perspective on life and just the way I move in general, sticking to what's important, what really matters. This right here was just meant for me to see this tonight, because I promise you, we were going to talk about something totally different, and we're probably going to get around to it, once I recalibrate. But right now, I just want to stay here. I think it was just meant for me to have this conversation, because I got like a wide array of things I really want to talk about. But this right here just hit close to home, and I just had to talk about it now. I'm just going to leave on this note, man. I'm not going to even drag it out. So with that said, just keep God first, stay sucker free, and by all means get to the money. Peace and love, stay healthy. I'm out this joint.
I don't know what you're waiting on. Sitting by the corner or looking at your smart TV. Your laptop or computer or whatever you use to. Just go over to YouTube, please. PowerCircle.